All right, everybody, this is today's tech tip. It's about using rubrics in Google Classroom. Maybe it's a feature that you've tried and you know about. Maybe it's one that you don't even know exists. I'd just like to show everybody how you can use it, how you can implement it into assignments, and really how you can also use it as a grading feature in Classroom. So just to get started, we just want to go off to a Google Classroom. I'll use one of the test classrooms that I have set up just for purposes like these videos or like whenever I'm just trying something out. And all I really want to do is go off to class work. Let me delete this one out because I'm actually going to recreate it. And you just want to go to create assignment. Now you'll notice whenever you go into create assignment, it's grayed out. As soon as you put a name in, example assignment, you'll notice that you then have the ability to click down here. So whenever you click there, you have three options. The very bottom one, I just want to say, import from sheets. You can import from an already made rubric on a spreadsheet in Google Sheets. If you want to use this option, please let me know. I have a template set up that all those cells are in the right spots. Everything's labeled. It's much easier than trying to figure it out on your own. So I could just share a copy of that with you. Reusing rubrics is good once you have a few of these in here, because you can go ahead and just select it from, and this is getting pulled from a previous assignment. There it is right there. You can open it up. It's exactly the same from the previous assignment, and you actually have the ability to go in and edit it if you want to change it up for this assignment in particular. I thought that was a nice feature. But what we want to do is create a new one. So I want to just go ahead and delete this off and go to rubric, create rubric. Opens up this screen, and first thing I want to make evident to you is that you can turn scoring on and off. Maybe in these instances of distance learning, you really don't even want to use the scoring, so you can maybe just use it as a way to provide some feedback on assignments. Could be a way to go. Turn that thing off. I'm going to show you how to use it with the scoring on. Over here, you do have the opportunity just to delete this entire thing out if you want to, just to start a new one if you don't like it. And let me just go ahead and get started here then and say, the criterion title are things like organization, accuracy, the spelling, grammar, the larger fields of the rubric. So if I go ahead and put one in, the description being, what you're really trying to explain to the kids, what you're looking for, if it's appearance and overall attention to detail. And then you can go ahead and put in your different levels that you want to use for this rubric. You might want to go with perhaps 4. And the first one just being a 0 because the thing is incomplete. The next one being a 1 because it is below average. 2 maybe because it is average. And then the third one being a 3 just because it is above average. And you can, add as many as you want to this and get it to what your typical rubrics look like. You can obviously add descriptions down here as you see fit to really describe what you're looking for and why a kid might fall into a certain category, certain tier. Once you're done with this, you have the opportunity to add a new criterion from scratch where all of these fields would be blank. But if you have one set up kind of the same way that you would kind of have it laid out for any other category, you can also duplicate this thing by going to these 3 dots right here and duplicate the criterion. And then you just kind of need to switch out. So it would be an efficient way to build one of these is what I'm saying. You can switch out the fields that you need. But, saying for brevity here, saying that we are all done with this thing, I'm going to go ahead and save it. One last thing to note is you can see that the score changed as I was putting things in. So if I even came back in here and went, instead of 1, 2, 3, I went 6, 4, and 2. Notice that the score did switch. Top score now is a 6. And if we were to duplicate this thing out, it would make it a 12. Okay. We can save this rubric. And it is ready to use on this assignment. The last thing I'd want to do is just attach something so that I can show you the grading part of it. If I go to Google Drive and just kind of, attach any assignment that I have in here, I'll just go ahead with this document. It's easy to go ahead and attach and send out. I'll make this for the purpose of the last part of this video. I want to make this as a copy per student because I'm going to send it to the test students on this class. I'll assign this out with this rubric attached. You'll notice I'm going to leave this at 100 points because I do want to show you one more thing about it. And we can assign this out. This is going to go off to, again, that test student. And as this gets assigned out, all I need to do for the sake of this video is switch off to that test account and turn it in so that I can show you what it looks like on the teacher side. So really what I'm showing you right now is the student's side. That's this class. Here is that example assignment. Here's the rubric is actually attached. They can see things within it, so that's always nice for them. And I just want to turn this thing in. And if I go back to my class, go ahead and refresh this. If we go to the assignment and to the copy of that test subject, I can go into the grade book for this one, and you can see if you use this view all the time, you'll notice something's changed. We have the rubric down here, and it's actually as easy then as looking at the student's work, seeing really where they fall into these different categories on the rubric. If I had more than one criteria, I could switch it up through here. And really it's a matter of just selecting where they fall. You can select it like that with the drop down, or you can also select it just here, selecting one of these rectangles. Notice the one thing here is that as I'm selecting these different scores, this score is changing, and it's actually calculating it correctly to my overall score. So if I go down to a 4 out of 6, which is 2/3, this is at 66.67 out of 100. If I go down one more to what would be, technically 1/3, we're at 33.33 out of 100, and then down to 0. So I thought that was a nice feature too. Most of the time I keep my group or my overall grades lined up with just the entire rubric score, but that is nice that it will calculate it correctly. So once you have that assessed, you can go ahead and return it to the kid, and they get however they did. They get the check mark, or they get the box filled out on their side, and they get their score. So I don't know. I thought that it was a nice feature that the classroom added in. It might be something that you start building slowly, and the more that you use it, the more that you like it. And once you get some into that database of rubrics that you can pull from, and you know that you can just kind of change them up to your class, something that you can, really just continue to build on and use and use and use. And I think it could make some people's lives easier that do use Classroom for a lot of things, one being grading and giving feedback to students. So hope you like the video. You guys have a good day, and let me know any questions on it.